Welcome to GamingLagg.com's Bethesda Showcase E3 Reactions. I am your host, Mike Chalice, and with me, Matt Beard.
How's it going?
We will be going over everything Bethesda from last night. This is going to be a short and sweet little video that we make basically because we are going to have a podcast that we will record later, and that will include all four of us going around the table thinking of what we thought of the first four press conferences of E3. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. Bethesda came out swinging for their first ever showcase. I think that's fair to say.
I'd say so.
I'm going to go and say that I probably had the least biased ear, as I'm not a giant Fallout fan, because all I've heard from the three idiots that I work with here is, well, they win because Fallout 4, and they talked about it, and they added some stuff. But they came out with Doom first. So what did you think about that, Matt?
Doom looked really good. I really liked how they ended the Doom segment.
BFG and end scene.
Scene.
One thing I liked about the Doom was it felt almost like a remaster of the original PC game. There's no looking down scopes. It's very traditional to its roots, very just sort of spin around and very quick to shoot guns and things like that. I would say we got a fair showcase of what the weapons are going to be.
Yeah, I'd say I did like how it did seem very much like the traditional Doom game.
It's something that everybody wants, I think. Going back to Doom 3, I think they went a little bit too much horror. This is definitely very little horror, a lot of shooting and killing and gore. Automatic rocket launchers were there as well, which was interesting. But that being said, the biggest thing that I took away from Doom was that they may have single-handedly solved the problem that a lot of first-person shooters have with content and maps by adding something called Doom Snap Map, which is going to be a customizable map creator that doesn't only just work for deathmatch and things like that, but you can also make horde modes and different modes like that. You create the map on your PC and it'll actually be playable by everybody. That's huge.
It's very huge. I think that that in itself, especially by my understanding, is actually going to be cross-platform by using their Bethesda net. So.
Yeah. They also, that's important to know. Right after that, they talked a little bit about Bethesda Net, which is basically their version of anybody else's sort of subscription services and things like that. It's not going to cost anything, of course. It's just going to be how they monitor all of their progress and things like that. So that's huge. I think for a first-person shooter, you have to point that out. If people can create maps, I mean, you have games like Mario Maker coming out, and you also have games like Little Big Planet and Mod Nation Racers, which is incredibly popular still to this day because people make their own stuff. And then you're able to share that with everybody. So it's basically an infinite stream of content because you know there's going to be at least a handful of people that can make amazing maps that everybody loves.
Well, that goes in hand with Project Spark and Disney Infinity's toy box as well.
Exactly. So let's move on from Doom. Obviously, we sort of knew it was coming, and most of this stuff we sort of knew was coming. A lot of it was leaked. It was just nice to see things confirmed. They did go over a little bit of Elder Scrolls Online because that launched last Tuesday, or the Tuesday before that, I can't remember, but on all of the next-gen consoles, or current-gen consoles as we call them now. And seems to be received pretty well. A lot of people on my friends list are playing that, but we're not going to go over a whole lot of that because it's already been released, and we sort of know what it is because it's been out on PC for a year.
Yep.
Moving on, they threw another big hammer and confirmed Dishonored 2 coming.
Looked very good.
Looked very, very good. They also confirmed a new female lead, which I'm very excited about because obviously the gaming world doesn't have enough female leads. Of course, you are still going to be able to play as Corvo. They said later on after they showed the trailer and stuff that you are, and in an interview that I was watching, that you are going to be able to choose which one. So you get a taste of both characters, and then a pivotal thing happens and you choose which one you want to play. New powers, of course, that kind of goes without saying to a sequel, I think. I mean, yeah. Anything else on that? Do you like? No,
I'm going to wait until it sounds like Gamescom they're going to put more.
Yeah, I think so. They also did announce they're remastering Dishonored, which is good. I didn't play any of the DLC or anything, and I only very, very briefly grazed the surface of that game as it came out at a time where I was playing a whole bunch of other games. So that's coming to next-gen consoles as well. You'll be able to get that on PS4 and Xbox One, and that'll be really good for anybody who wants to get into that universe because that was one of those hits that didn't win Game of the Year, but it's still a lot of people's Game of the Year in a lot of ways. Then probably the lowest point of their
Never
little
happened.
showcase. Matt refuses to believe that it happened.
It didn't happen.
Was obviously, if you want to talk about Hearthstone is pretty much a ripoff of Magic and a lot of different other card games. But not only are they making Elder Scrolls Legends, which is a trading card strategy game.
Didn't happen.
They also blatantly ripped off the animation from Hearthstone and things like that. And then they didn't show any gameplay or anything. I imagine it'll be the same thing. It's going to be free to play. We'll see how they get into that market. I guess there's going to be some diehard Elder Scrolls fans that may play that over a Warcraft trading card game, but I think Blizzard already has too much of a head start on that. But we'll see where it goes. I mean, obviously, if it's free to play, everybody's going to try it at least once. I think that was it for the showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound just like Pete Hines did.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So then they got Todd Howard out, and that man knows how to do a demo. One of my favorite stage presenters to watch, even though I have never played a Fallout. I know that's weird to some people. I am going to play Fallout 4 because I've been told that it's weird that I haven't. But I love when he presents like Elder Scrolls game because Skyrim was one of my favorite games of all time. So he came out and starts talking Fallout 4. So there are some expected things.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about what you thought about what he was going over, since you're the bigger
Bethesda won.
Yeah,
There's
Bethesda
nothing anybody else can do. But everything, like seeing the Boston landscape, Fenway Park's door opening, calling in the vertibird, and then something that I kept to myself for about 2 weeks. Having read the first page, I knew that the guy was going to. The lead protagonist, whether it's you choose the male or the female, had actually been alive during the war. Mr. Gloomdoom kept speculating it was going to be the baby, and I was just like, yep, it's the baby. And then last night we found out, and I was just like, finally I can say something. I've been knowing that all along. Showing the special, not doing the Skyrim version of the leveling. I'm so glad they actually are keeping with the special, and it has been confirmed.
I think if they blended it too close to, like, Skyrim obviously was widely regarded as a very, very good game in the way it leveled up, but I think if they strayed too close to that, both games would literally become the same, and then it would just be a different environment that you're in. And I don't mean to offend, obviously, Fallout 4 fans, because they are not the same game whatsoever. But I'm going to go, obviously, I want your opinion and everything as well, Matt. My reactions were pretty positive. I've never played a Fallout game. I understand the style that the art is in. I understand everything that's going on. I'm very excited to try out this world because I am such a big fan of open world games like Skyrim and things like that. So excited of all the customization. But let's go into the customization, because that was probably the highlight for me, was how much you can customize the weapons. And they've confirmed you're going to have power armor and all this other stuff. But you can customize it to the point where they showed a demo where you took a simple pistol, and by adding parts and things to this, you turned it into like a plasma rifle, essentially.
It was a plasma pistol.
Well, no, like they changed the stock,
laser pistol turned all the way up to plasma. Which in the Fallout universe, that definitely could be possible. But this new customization is completely new. I loved it. There's not anything that I can say bad about the Fallout 4, except for that I have to wait till November.
Yeah, but at least it's coming out this year. That's actually another really good point, is that it is confirmed now coming out this year. One thing that I really liked that they said, and he made a special point to say it, which maybe somebody doesn't, but again, Todd Howard's very good at demoing a game. So you can build your own bases, and you will be rated by things. And you can build all. He confirmed there's different locations you can build these things in. But one thing that I noticed about most of these games is that there are a ton of items that are useless in the game that you can pick up. I know there's pictures of Skyrim where people pick up like a bajillion chairs and just stack them in a room, and I mean it like breaks the game basically. But in Fallout, they've confirmed that all of these items can be salvageable and used to build these houses and defenses and things like that. And it's all completely customizable. You can make it look the way you want, build turrets, things like that. I really like that because I don't know how, like even BioShock games and things of that nature, you go through and you pick stuff up and sometimes they're just completely useless items that you carried for no reason. Then they announced the Pip-Boy edition.
Shut up and take my bottle caps. I cannot find it in Canada yet.
Yes. So this was a collector's edition. Basically, they were all hyped up on the Pip-Boy. They built one and then revealed that it is going to be the collector's edition piece. It is going to work with Android and iOS for a second screen experience, which will be, I'm assuming, everything you use your Pip-Boy for in the game. It will work so that you can actually wear this thing, and while you're playing the game, you don't have to go into that.
Yeah.
You can just look at your own arm.
I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that. You just picture Matt here, like full like cosplay with his arm thing on.
It might happen. It might happen.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. It's very cool. It seems like a pretty practical second screen experience. Most of them are pretty stupid. He made a very big joke about that, is that they're completely gimmicky and stuff, and then basically said, but this is the coolest fucking one I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Huge hype for Fallout 4, and then they did the traditional, throw a smoke bomb down with no smoke, of course, because Bethesda's got a little bit of class. They announced that they've made a mobile game called Fallout Shelter, and I've actually been playing it, so has Matt. It is a incredibly fun game to play, and it is the first one of those build your own towns and stuff that doesn't have these stupid paywalls and like takes 40 hours for things to build afterwards, which make everybody infuriated. Fallout Shelter, game of the year. That's my pick. But yeah, so that's a little bit of reactions from it. Let's do this. Scale of 1 to 10. You're going to give it a 10 probably because it's got Fallout in it.
No. If we only did the Fallout and the Doom and left out everything in the middle, yes, 10.
No, Dishonored was okay.
Yeah, I think they could have waited.
I'm gonna give them an 8. I'm gonna give 8.5 because the things I didn't want to hear about were Elder Scrolls Legends, Elder Scrolls Online, and then Bethesda.net. I didn't really give two craps about that. So I'll take 0.5 off for every single one that they got wrong, and then everything else stayed the same. So I started at 10 and took 0.5 off for every time they had a miss, in my opinion. I'm completely unbiased, though, because I'm not a giant diehard fan of them.
I have to put my bias in there. I'm still not going to give him 10, but 9.1.
Okay. 9.1. So that's basically our reactions. We are going to have a full podcast, obviously, with the four of us. Later tonight, we'll record that. We'll have this up on YouTube, hopefully, within the hour. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
3, 2,